is making sure that we route every call that comes from a wireless phone on the basis of the cell tower. We're going to get people the help they need, where they are, and we're going to improve 988.
So geo-routing is crucial in terms of the timeliness of the response. So we would know where you are, and we would be able to get in the vans and come to where you are.
My message to Angelinos is to not be scared to call, get some help. Just because it might not be a crisis to someone, it could be a crisis to you. So there's no crisis too small, and we want to make sure that you get the help.
Call 988. It's for mental health crisis. If somebody's talking about suicide or if somebody's off their medications and they're acting out, please call 988. That's the best way to get the best response, and it's going to save lives.
The best of the Mounted Rangers deserves a retirement party after 16 years of public service. The city's Department of Recreation and Parks and community members gathered to pay tribute to Sherman, an extraordinary horse.
So we are here today at the LA Equestrian Center, and we are celebrating the career of one of our finest horses the Park Ranger Division has ever had, the illustrious Sherman. We're celebrating his 16 years of service to the city of Los Angeles. We got to a point where we knew that his career roaming the hills here in Griffith Park were coming towards an end. And this is a celebration of his career as one of our Park Ranger mounted horses, bringing so much joy and so many memories to all the citizens of Los Angeles, truly serving as the ambassador for all of recreation and parks.
So Sherman has had his home here at the Equestrian Center for many years. So we've been able to interact with him and pet him and say hello and be a part of his life with the Ranger team. And they're a real important partnership for us, not only for the site, but then for the overall community. And as you know, the Griffith Park is just right over the hill there, so they help patrol the whole area and keep safety and keep the park together.
Over here in Griffith Park, we have 4,000 plus acres. We're building up the Ranger Mounted Unit again. So many amazing things are happening here in Griffith Park. We have so many people to thank. This is many people coming together between the Equestrian Center, the citizens that surround Griffith Park, and the community.
This is a gathering of not only the Parks and Rec personnel, but also the Rangers and the leadership from the team, but also from our LA Equestrian team. And what we did is we built a special celebration to honor Sherman's retirement. So they got to watch Sherman bob for apples, do a pin the tail on Sherman, and really cheer for him and learn about his story. He was a special horse in the unit because he was the best at doing meet and greets with families and children. He really loved it, and they could tell that he thrived in that environment.
Part of what was so exciting about this event is that we had so much of the community involved in this. We don't do a retirement for every horse. Sherman's a special case. And so it just brought the community here together and really just highlight, again, that Griffith Park is an equestrian community. And that's what we're trying to let people know.
Dash bus fares return in 2025. Internships available in digital support. Measure A on the LA County ballot. These stories up next on CityBeat.
Fares on the Los Angeles Department of Transportation's Dash buses will be reinstated beginning on January 11, 2025. LA's Department of Transportation Dash buses have been available free of charge to all passengers since March of 2020. The previous fares will return, meaning a regular single fare of 50 cents when paying with cash and 35 cents when using a tap card. Revenue from the fares will be used to improve the security on the buses and to move closer to the city's electrification goals. Dash buses will continue to be free of charge for students and City Ride clients. For more information, click on the Residents tab at ladot.lacity.gov. Paid internships are available on the Digital Ambassador Program offered by the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles, or HACLA. Digital ambassadors will promote digital literacy, conduct resident outreach, and provide support with internet access at Housing Authority sites across LA. Ambassadors will get an hourly rate along with the opportunity to learn on the job and develop their skills. No previous experience is necessary, as training will be provided to selected applicants. The HACLA Digital Ambassador Program is For more information or to apply, email Digital Ambassador Program at hacla.org. Mayor Bass, Sheriff Luna, City and County Business Associations, and the Hospital Association of Southern California came together to promote a yes vote on Measure A. If voters agree to Measure A, the 0.25% sales tax from Measure H would be replaced with a 0.5% sales tax. Revenues from Measure A will go to affordable housing, mental health and addiction treatment, and services for people experiencing homelessness. Measure H ends in 2027, but if Measure A is passed, it will continue until voters rescind it. For more information on Measure A, visit Find My Election Information at lavote.gov.
Councilmember Curran Price led an event to uplift those who tell stories from the margins and often work in 2 languages. Journalists and members of the media were honored for Latino Heritage Month in LA.
We're at the Tom Bradley Tower here at the Los Angeles City Hall, and we're getting ready to have a real celebration, celebrating the Latino media, especially during the conclusion of Latino Heritage Month.
Landis Stokes.
It's important to highlight the media for Latino Heritage Month because a lot of the stories that we have in LA are untold, especially the language barriers that we have, and these Latino media journalists have taken those stories and turned them into TV, radio, written stories, and it gives us an opportunity for all Angelinos to learn a little bit about Latino culture.
Estoy muy contenta de estar compartiendo esta mañana con varios de mis colegas. Estamos agradecidos todos por esta invitación y por el reconocimiento por parte del concejal Curran Price y su staff, su personal.
En mi caso, como escritor de noticias, ha habido oportunidades en las que la historia de este país ha cambiado por las historias que yo he escrito, por ejemplo. A través de lo que tú escribes o lo que tú reportas en el día a día, puede cambiar la mentalidad de los políticos que tienen marginada a la comunidad hispana.
It's a way for us to say thank you, for us a way to acknowledge the important role that the press plays in providing information and news to our community.
One more here.
We're going to be recognizing journalists from all over the city that have been active and distinguishing themselves. It's a way for us to say thank you. So we'll be receiving a certificate. We got some music, some entertainment, and a festival occasion.
We want to make this an ongoing thing every year to make sure that Latino journalists don't go unseen.
The celebration, the opportunity for professionals to come together to meet each other, to reaffirm friendships, and to make new ones.
Although it's known as the birthplace of LA, El Pueblo is also the place to go for Dia de los Muertos, to remember and honor loved ones who have passed. This traditional area serves up 9 nights of gatherings, processions, and community.
We have Dia de los Muertos here on Alvera Street, and it's a novenario, so it's for 9 nights. It starts October 25th all the way through November 2nd. Dia de los Muertos is a combination of the Aztec culture and the Catholic religion. And what it is now a celebration of the life of our friends and our families that passed away. So what we do is we celebrate that life in tradition, in song, in gathering. So those are things that we do. We build altares, which you'll see a lot of examples on Alvera Street. We have all of our community altars out by the kiosco and all around the street itself.
Lo que se me hace bonito es poder tener un momento para pensar en toda la gente que ha fallecido y celebrarlos, darnos cuenta de que la muerte es algo parte de la vida, que es natural.
There's a lot of different things that we can put on the altars, and even in Mexico, it varies widely from the south to the north. The south tends to be a lot more flowers and vegetables and fruit. And as you go up, it has different things to it. So most of the time we add the pictures of our loved ones, of course, because that's who we're remembering. We'll add salt for the earth. We'll add candle for fire. We'll have papel picado for the wind. And we'll have water. So the 4 basic elements. It's so inviting. It's so community oriented. Especially here on Alvera Street, we ask people to come and be part of our procession. We want them to come and be part of our community dance at the end of our celebration. So it draws them in because of that, I think.
Anybody who has lost loved ones, it's just an important time, and we just want to remember them, remember who they are when they were alive, and just remember that they're with us and watching us.
A community bike ride in South LA brought students and neighbors together to experience their district on two wheels. While street improvements are in their future, this community is already prepared for the bike rubber to meet the road.
Today we're celebrating our second bike ride that we've done here in South LA. Burden Tech has partnered up with Eastside Riders, Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson, to make sure that we really reclaim our bikes, right? We want to make sure our students, our community, everybody that lives here in South LA feels safe to ride their bikes.
DOT put in the bike lanes in 2020, and Broadway is still not a safe street. It's still on the high injury network, and traffic fatalities have not fallen. So we have a huge investment coming next year with the construction of the Broadway sewer project that Streets LA is doing. That's going to make it even safer to bike on Broadway and walk at night and during the day.
Para asegurar que los jóvenes sepan cómo usar las nuevas líneas para las bicicletas sobre la Broadway de manera muy segura. Queremos que ellos estén preparados para cuando venga el nuevo proyecto de infraestructura llamado Broadway Sur.
It really means a lot to see all of these improvements around our community, because I want to make sure that this community is getting safer so that the future generation, the elementary school kids, can ride around in their bikes and not feel scared that anything's going to happen to them. That's why this event is really important, and more events like this is what we really want to create and continue to flourish in this community and make this community the best that it could possibly be.
Our kiddos have a lot of different opportunities that they need help from. So we want to make sure that our kids know how to ride safety, that our parents can use the bike lanes if needed. A lot of our families don't have access to cars, for example. So having a bike lane that's safe, that's secure, that they feel comfortable using, it's very important just to make sure that our kids get here safely, but also so that our community can really get what they deserve. To everybody in the South LA community, what I will say to you is please use the bike lanes. They're here for you, they're designed for you. We have a lot of safety around them, and we're working to make sure that we're providing even more safety, more laws and regulations. Whatever the community needs, we are here for you as well.
For more information about the project, visit cd8.lacity.gov.
Broadway Bike Ride!
The LA Civil Rights Department held a ceremony to celebrate pioneer women around the city. While they hail from different fields, these women have all had an impact in the city, and this event honored their work.
Today we're here honoring the 2024 Pioneer Women, which is a recognition that council members offer to women in their districts who are doing amazing work in their communities.
This year we're honoring women in public service, those women who are lifting up our communities, for helping those who are less fortunate than us in the city of Los Angeles.
Today I am honored to have the privilege of celebrating the first woman and the first Latina to be promoted to deputy chief here in the city of Los Angeles. I could not be more proud, not only to have her, a woman in that position, but truly have someone that really deserved that position as well.
It's a great feeling to be recognized and appreciated because I've worked so hard and the road has not been easy. There's been so many people along the way that have helped in my career and have really contributed to my achievements, and I'm thankful for.
Bob Blumenfield nominated Terry Saucier,
Indus Subaya,
Jennifer Quinones, Diana Chavez Faipal.
We are excited to honor Dr. Shalonda Crawford, also known as Dr. Sunshine.
It feels amazing to be recognized for the thing that I am so passionate about, and to understand that it's making a difference in the community just means everything.
To all the women out there in Los Angeles who are doing the work, we often don't see your work, but I know that you're doing it, and it's really important. We want to make sure that you're appreciated, that you know that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure you're seen in this city.
LA is for everyone!
LA is for everyone. And to learn more about the work of LA's Civil Rights Department, visit their website at civilandhumanrights.lacity.gov. Shakespeare said, "Never a borrower nor a lender be," but it seems the city needs to be a bit of both. In this week's feature story, our Maria Hall Brown hears from Matt Szabo, the city administrative officer. He tells us why he is optimistic for the city's future.
Well, an advisor provides guidance, support, resources, and today we have someone who is quite the amazing advisor. I'm delighted to be joined today by the Los Angeles City Administrative Officer, Matt Szabo. What are the parameters of the office? Because it seems very, very complicated looking out, looking in.
The primary job of the CAO is to be the principal financial advisor to the mayor and the council. So in that area of responsibility, we assist the mayor in developing the annual budget. We assist the council in reviewing and approving the annual budget. We are responsible for making revenue projections for the various sources of revenue that the city brings in. And we bring in a number of sources of revenue, not just property tax, but business tax, sales tax, hotel tax, et cetera. We need to make projections on that. We monitor how the revenue is coming in versus plan. We also, because City of Los Angeles is the majority of the money we spend is on employees to deliver services, police, firefighters, rec assistants, et cetera. 80% of what we spend is on employees.
Okay.
We also are responsible for negotiating the salaries, wages, and benefits for all of the city's employees.
You have been in public service for a very long time. You've been with a lot of different offices, and now you're in this particular office. What is it that got you involved, and why are you here?
Well, as it relates to government, I think it's such a privilege to work in local government because you have the opportunity to literally see and feel the results of your work in a way that you may not at the federal level. What people care about in their day-to-day lives, you know, is it safe to get to work? What does our street look like? Do we have a safe park to go to? Is the fire department going to respond when we call? The basic everyday quality of life issues is what the city of LA is ultimately responsible for. And so the work that we do, the budgets that we put together, the projects that we approve, you could actually see the results of those almost immediately.
How do you feel about the city of Los Angeles? Is it moving in the right direction? Are you optimistic, or do we have some work to do ahead of us and everybody's really aiming that way?
Well, I'm definitely optimistic. I mean, I do think we're moving in the right direction. Clearly, the city has a lot of challenges, but there are significant opportunities. LA is, in so many ways, the center of the universe for an urban center, not just in this country, but on the planet. And again, it's a privilege to work in a city that means so much to so many.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And if people want to learn more, what's the best way for them to understand what's happening in your office?
They can go to our city website, which is cao.lacity.gov.
In this week's Things to Do, celebrate music and poetry in Highland Park, catch a fascinating exhibit at LA Municipal Art Gallery, and honor those who have served at a Veterans Day parade. All this up next on Things to Do.
Councilmember Eunices Hernandez hosts the second annual Música y Poemas event, and everyone is invited. Enjoy the live performances of music and poetry in Highland Park on Saturday, November 9th. Música y Poemas will also feature an art expo, a resource fair of city services, a classic car show, and kids' activities on site. Join Councilmember Eunices Hernandez, neighbors, and friends for this fun day out on Figueroa between Avenue 54 and Avenue 60. The Música y Poemas celebration takes place on Saturday, November 9th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, visit cd1.lacity.gov/Música y Poemas. The Department of Cultural Affairs, along with the Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibitions, presents Beatrice DaCosta, Undisciplinary Tactics at the LA Municipal Art Gallery. This ongoing exhibit examines the collaborative work of the late Beatrice DaCosta. DaCosta was an artist and researcher, a co-founder of Preemptive Media, and a founding member of UC Irvine's Arts Computation Engineering graduate program. This exhibition is woven from DaCosta's shows, public programs, workshops, and study groups. Enjoy Beatrice DaCosta, Undisciplinary Tactics at the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery each week from Thursday to Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. The exhibit runs until January 5th, 2025. For more information, visit culture.lacity.gov/events. Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez invites you to join her in honoring our heroes at a Veterans Day parade in Mission Hills. The 21st Annual San Fernando Valley Veterans Day Parade steps off at 11 a.m. The parade begins at the corner of San Fernando Mission Boulevard with a mile-long route along Laurel Canyon to Paxton Street. Join the community in honoring and celebrating those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. The 21st Annual San Fernando Valley Veterans Day Parade is on Monday, November 11th at 11 a.m. For more information, visit sfvveteransdayparade.com. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Susan Huckle, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Let's protect our wildlife together. Please, no smoking in Griffith Park.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Tuesday, the 5th day of November 2024, Election Day in the United States. My name is Marquis Harris Dawson. I serve as president of this City Council. Can we begin our proceedings by calling the roll?
Yes, sir. Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McCosker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approve the minutes of October 30th, 2024.
All right, Mr. Blumenfield moves. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Hernandez moves. Mr. Lee seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Price seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today's Tuesday. It's time for the flag salute.
All right, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise, and I will call on, from the Great 1-5, Councilmember Tim McCosker to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you very much. Please rise if you're able. Place your right hand over your I voted sticker. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. City Attorney, there was a disruption during the pledge. Can we identify that person and deliver their first warning to them? All right. Camille Lewis, you have been warned once. What's next? Mr. Clerk? Ms. Clerk?
Mr. President, there are several requests. There is a request to continue item 1 to November 19th, 2024, as well as to continue item 2 to January 14th, 2025.
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Mr. President, I'll run through the agenda. Items 1 through 14 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 15 through 24 are items which public hearings have been held. Items 25 through 36 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are now before us. Specials members. To my left, Mr. Blumenfield.
Item 15 for an amending motion, and which I believe is available to be read in.
And the motion reads that I move that item number 15 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following additional recommendation. Instruct the Los Angeles Police Department's Security Services Division to report with recommendations regarding the need for visitor tags or badges at City Hall, given that city employees are required to display identification badges. And I believe it's being seconded by Councilmember Krikorian.
And then 17 for comments and 33 for a substitute motion.
All right. Do we have the substitute motion? We don't?
I believe you do.
Yes, we do. So I will just move the moving clauses. Now, therefore, be it resolved pursuant to Section 4118, subsection C of the Los Angeles Municipal Code, that the council hereby designates the following locations for enforcement against sitting, lying, sleeping, or storing, using, maintaining, or placing personal property or otherwise obstructing the public right-of-way, up to the maximum distance and effective for the maximum period of time prescribed and as further detailed in the code. 1. 20750 Sherman Way, Winnetka, designated facility. 2. 20205 Ventura Boulevard, Woodland Hills, designated facility. 3. 21121 Van Owen Street, Canoga Park, designated facility. 4. 20116 Sherman Way, Winnetka, designated facility. 5. 7221 Canby Avenue, Reseda, designated facility. 6. 7631 Topanga Canyon Boulevard, Canoga Park, designated facility. 7. 6940 Owensmouth Avenue, Canoga Park, designated facility. Be it further resolved that the city departments with jurisdiction over the identified locations are hereby directed and authorized to post appropriate notices of the above prohibitions at these locations and to begin enforcement upon the expiration of any required posting period. And is there a second to this substitute motion? Being told it's Councilmember Lee.
Okay, and then lastly, for Mr. De Leon to hold item 25 on the desk.
Okay. 25 on the desk for comments or an amendment? Or just to hold it? Hold it? Okay. All right. Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. Out of an abundance of caution, city attorneys have asked me to recuse myself from item 24 due to the fact that I am a landlord. And I'm accusing myself from item 14 because my wife's employer has worked with the applicant in the past.
All right. Duly noted. Mr. Krikorian.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also will be recusing on item 24 in that I own rental property.
Got it. Okay. Mr. Soto Martinez.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. President. I'd like to call item number 32 and 33 for a separate vote. And I also have a technical amendment for item number 30, which I believe we've given the language to the city attorney.
Yes, the amendment reads that I move that $1,462 be transferred/appropriated for the council's portion of the Heritage Month celebrations and special events line item in the General City Purposes Fund, number 100-56, to the General Services Fund, number 100-40, account number 1100, Hiring Hall, for services in connection with the Council District 13 special observation of National Runaway and Homeless Youth Month on November 21st through 22nd, 2024, at City Hall, including the illumination of City Hall. I believe it's a substitute motion, not an amendment, so apologies.
All right. It is a substitute motion for which there is a second.
Item 30, and is there a second? So I'm being told that, no.
Okay, sorry, then the second.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Hernandez. All right. Is that it, Mr. Soto Martinez? That's it? Okay. Councilmember Rahman.
I know this has already been called special, but I just wanted to make comments on item 24 before we vote on it.
Excellent. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Yes, items 16 and 17 for comments.
Okay, 16, 17 for comments. Councilmember Padilla.
I'd like to call 15 special for an amendment, and I believe they have the language.
So yes, the amendment reads, I move that item number 15 on today's council agenda be amended to instruct the Police Department Security Services Division and Department of General Services to consider using environmentally friendly materials for new reusable visitor tags, in particular petroleum-free and renewable materials such as seed paper or bioplastics. And is there a second to this motion?
All right. Any other specials on my right? On the east side of the building? Any other specials on the west side of the building? Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Council President, I would like to call item 36 special for comments, please.
Okay. All right.
What was the item that was called for comment?
3-6.
Thank you.
Mr. Blumenfield?
And we discovered the mystery of 25. It is for an amendment, and those have been submitted.
Okay.
So the amendment reads, I move that the matter continued consideration of motion De Leon Padilla relative to filing a formal complaint with the California Public Utilities Commission regarding Union Pacific Railroad blocking grade crossings in El Sereno, item number 25 on today's agenda, be amended to change the following language. Recommendations for council. So these first three recommendations are being struck. 1, instruct the Bureau of Engineering in consultation with the city attorney to file a formal complaint with the CPUC regarding Union Pacific Railroad blocking grade crossings in El Sereno. 2, request the city attorney to report to council in 60 days with recommendations on pursuing legal action against Union Pacific Railroad, including prosecution as detailed under Chapter 11 Part 1, Division 1 of the Public Utilities Code for violating the CPUC, General Order 135, and any other laws that it deems applicable. 3, instruct the BOE to conduct an outreach process with stakeholders to gather additional information for the city's formal complaint to the CPUC. And again, all of those recommendations are being struck, and the next 5 recommendations are being added or amended. 1, I therefore move to instruct the BOE in consultation with the city attorney to file a complaint with the California Public Utilities Commission, CPUC, and Federal Railroad Administration, FRA, regarding Union Pacific Railroad blocking grade crossings in El Sereno. I further move to instruct BOE to conduct an outreach process with stakeholders to gather additional information for the city's complaint to the CPUC. I further move to instruct BOE to pursue any mediation or negotiations with the Union Pacific Railroad as required by the CPUC or FRA, including the establishment of grade separations at San Pablo Street, Vineburn Avenue, and Boca Avenue. 4, I further move to instruct BOE to collaborate with Union Pacific Railroad on identifying any local, state, or federal grant funds needed in order to establish grade separations at San Pablo Street, Vineburn Avenue, or Boca Avenue. And 5, I further move to request the city attorney report back to council within 60 days with recommendations on the feasibility of pursuing legal action against Union Pacific Railroad for violating any state or federal laws that it deems applicable. And is there a second to this motion? This is the De Leon motion. Yes. Is there a second? I'm being told it might be Councilmember Padilla.
I second.
Perfect. Okay. All right. What's next?
Mr. President, would council like to vote on the available items now, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and those items are 18 through 23, sir.
All right. Items 18 through 23. Are there? Did we ever recuse us on this? Okay. All right. 18 to 23 is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right. What's next?
Would council like me to read the instructions for public comment, sir?
Yes.
Okay. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it's your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 14 and items 25 through 36. So again, the items that are open for public comment during this regular meeting are items 1 through 14 and items 25 through 36. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the other items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. For members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you will forfeit your speaking time and we will have to move on to the next caller. Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak on the phones, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the feedback and the time delay, that will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on your other devices. Thank you.
Lupe Valdez, Joel Ross, Jennifer Clark, Freddie Escobar, Adam Walker, Brittany Thorne. Apologies, Adam Walker, you're signed up for the special item, so you'll wait until the special meeting.
Yes, so sorry, before the speaker begins, just to be clear, item number 37 is a part of the special meeting, so we are not taking public comment on that currently. If you're here for item number 37, please wait for the special meeting to begin. So this is only public comment for the items during the regular meeting. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Sure. Good morning. President and council members. My name is Lupe Valdez. I'm with Union Pacific Railroad, and I'm here to speak on item number 25. While we feel it's unfortunate that the council member decided to go this route, we were just told of this after he introduced the motion. So I have been in this role, by the way, for 20 years, and I normally do get called by a staff for different things, as well as several of the other council members here present. You call me on homeless, you call me on weeds, you call me on dump material, you do call me on block crossings. But it would have been better had we been able to have more of a dialogue. We did meet with staff. Staff produced some interesting ideas that we wanted to pursue, but it's going to take more time. Any grade separation very quickly will be the lead of the city, not UP. And UP actually helped the city of Los Angeles 20 years ago with the existing grade separation at Valley and Mariana. And we also helped out in offering a grade separation for pedestrians at San Pablo, but it was rejected by the former council member. So I just wanted to make those comments. And I'm open for any questions you may have.
So unfortunately, this isn't an opportunity for general Q&A. And I believe that item number 25 is going to be continued, but that was your 1 minute for general public comment. So thank you. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, my name is Joel Ross, and I'm just speaking on, just making a general public comment on 3 quick issues, if possible.
Okay, go ahead. You have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yeah, as a resident of the Westlake District for over 10 years, there appears to be an increasing shortage of available parking in the area, resulting in many often stuck circling through dimly lit blocks for what can be hours, since public and private options are limited, even if drivers are willing to pay extra for them. The neighborhood congestion creates a notable hazard, which is exacerbated by my next issue, lack of maintained streetlights. You need only cruise down Union Avenue after dark to see virtually every intersection pitch black despite existence of fixtures. There have been a number of nighttime fatalities around there in roughly a month alone, and the fact that several schools are located nearby is further concerning. It is my suspicion that the city needs a more effective solution to contend with wire thefts, or the lights are simply not being serviced at the frequency which is necessary. Lastly, there's seldom a trash can more than every couple blocks or so, which means that only those who are really committed to not littering won't just throw it on the ground. Local soccer fields and basketball courts routinely draw large crowds, and with nowhere to discard their garbage, the sidewalks are rarely free of it, subsequently affecting the mobility of elderly and disabled, as well as attracting rodents and other pests. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Certainly. Jennifer Clark, speaking officially on behalf of the Neighborhood Council, North Hollywood Northeast.
On which item?
Agenda item number 15, which was recently amended.
Okay. So, and you're speaking on behalf of, is this the community impact statement?
Yes.
Okay. So you have 3 minutes for the community impact statement. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. Thank you. First of all, thank you, council members, for the amendment. Really appreciate you reading our community impact statement. And I just want to come here and thank you personally for that. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Brittany Thorne, Savannah Bond, Kendra Sunderland, Andrew Graebner, Stacey Segar Bollinger, Mike Greenspan.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Brittany Thorne, and I will be giving general public comment.
Okay, go ahead. Actually, before you begin, Mr. Herman, welcome to the meeting. I'm trying to listen to the public speaker, and you interrupted her public comment. This is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt any of the public speakers, as my guess is they will not interrupt you during your public comment. Sorry, go ahead. You have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. I'm the Executive Director for Best Friends Animal Society in Los Angeles. Last weekend, we hosted our annual Super Adoption event at the Rose Bowl, which included 15 rescue organizations and shelters. As our longest-standing partner, LA Animal Services was in attendance, and I'm thrilled to report that over the two-day event, we welcomed over 4,500 people and found adoptive homes for over 400 animals. LA Animal Services adopted out 44 dogs and 18 cats. At the end of the event, Best Friends, Paws for Life, and Angel City Pit Bulls brought the remaining 30 LA Animal Services dogs into our rescues, ensuring that LA City shelter trucks went back empty. Thank you to the City Council members that shared our event in your newsletters, helping to make it one of the most successful super adoption events to date.
Good morning.
Good
You
morning.
have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Number one， 你看天色又在远处落下，寂寞的城道别天边晚霞，迷茫的人走在路上想家，生活的水让泪横过脸颊。谁在西楼唱着儿女情长？昏暗的灯淋醒我的惆怅，热烈的酒淋湿我的悲伤，难过的人扶着杯子笑唱。陌生的朋友，你倾听我讲，许多年前我也曾有梦想，想过满载荣誉回到家乡。这肆意的风呀，晚了海棠，提起故人故事，泪湿眼眶。谈及旧爱旧恨，寸断肝肠。偶尔想你为我披件衣裳，别留我一人在风里摇晃。Number two， 越过绵绵的高山，越过无尽的沧海。如果期待依然在，总是春暖到花开。请你轻轻留下来，让梦卷走这尘埃，香飘在书香之外，走向美丽的天籁。 雾蒙山连着山外山，月光洒下了香水滩。有没有人能告诉我，可是苍天对你在呼唤？一条山翻过一条河，千山万水都不寂寞。你来过年华被传说，百里杜鹃不掉落。Item number 3， 也许认识某一人，过着平凡的日子，不知道会不会，也许爱情甜如蜜。任时光匆匆流去，我只在乎你，心甘情愿感染你的气息。人生几何能够得到知己？失去生命的力量也不可惜。所以我求求你，别让我离开你。除了你，我不能感到一丝丝情意。General public comment.
So you have 1 minute.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you, defend her still today. 'Cause there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you, defend her still today. 'Cause there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I will speak to all items in general public comment. Why don't you just sell those kiosks since you don't use them anymore for finding what items we're selling from?
You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
We have item 25. That is a Kevin De Leon motion. It's regarding Union Pacific. They don't listen to anyone. They're certainly not going to
Speaker,
listen.
can you pause this time for a second? So item number 25 is going to be continued, so I apologize. For everybody who's here, it's not open for public comment currently. We did pause your time. Go ahead and begin.
Okay, so we have item 28 for supplemental charter buses in CD10. I'm not sure where they're going or who they're transporting, but you have supplemental charter buses in CD10. We have item 30. Item 30 is lighting up City Hall for National Runaway and Homeless Youth Month. I wonder what you're doing about those kinds of things. Probably subjecting unhoused youth to 4118 sweeps, I assume, probably. So I'm not sure why you need to light up City Hall when you're not doing anything about it. We have, speaking of 4118, 32, 33 are 4118 motions from pro-genocide Councilmember Bob Blumenfield. So no on any 4118 motions. 4118 should be abolished. And 4118 is cruel to unhoused people. And it's not even solving any kind of issue. It's just moving them down the street and no housing, no services. All you do is you just throw away their stuff, traumatize them, and just force them to move down the street. You're providing no housing, no services, nothing like that. So we have, hang on, I just closed this. We have.
Can you pause his time really quick? I'm sorry, Mr. Graebner. Mr. Greenspan, welcome to our meeting. I'm just going to ask politely, please do not disrupt Mr. Graebner's public comment. This is your first and only formal warning. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
So we have item 34, which is a street banner from City Staffer B for the Granada Hills Holiday Parade. Seems like it's a lot of money to be spent right now for street banners. We have item 35, which actually looks good. 35 actually does look good.
defibrillators in parks, facilities. I think that's actually pretty decent. So you can support that, I guess. Rare, decent thing from Paul Krikourian. Very rare. We have, all right, let's move on to general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I see Kevin's absent today. I wonder if Kevin's been going around this morning, going and illegally putting, campaign materials in people's mailboxes like he was doing yesterday. Had on official video. That's very illegal. You're not allowed to put campaign materials that you didn't mail through the postal office. You're not allowed to put them in people's mailboxes. So Kevin just keeps violating all kinds of campaign laws. He's going to lose. There's no way he's going to win this. Nobody likes him. This is the guy who got 7% in the mayoral election after, a year and a half of running and and supposedly being one of the front runners. He got 7% of the vote, 7 De Leon. So everyone watching, vote. If you're in CD14, vote for Isabel Urado. If you're in CD2, vote for Jillian Burgos. If you're in CD10, you're just fucked. Kevin should resign now.
Sister Payasa, Kimmy Chow, David Kashayan, C.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, which items do you like to speak to?
All items in public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the
Mike
items.
Greenspan, Burgos, District 2. Don't forget to vote today. Now, we got a couple liquor stores. So let's go to the liquor stores first. Gee, we don't have enough liquor stores, so where do we put them? Why, of course, District 1 at a gas station. No, excuse me, District 14, item 1. My apologies, Unisys. District 8, number 2. Once again, smart and final. Well, it's not too smart, us always putting out liquor licenses. I wonder why we're called the hit and run capital of the world. Yes, folks, we put out a bunch of liquor licenses. That's why. And we have a lot of drunk drivers. Well, let's go get drunk and drive some more. Now, a couple of other things. We've got all these no camping zones. But here's the problem. If you're giving out liquor licenses and people are getting drunk, I'm sure they're getting drunk in Blumenfield's district and De Leon's district and everywhere else, and they're passing out at parks, on streets and sidewalks, all over the place. So maybe if we didn't have so much liquor available, we would have people awake and walking around instead of having to sleep anywhere, because that's what you get. Those are called consequences of bad policy. And as far as I'm concerned, your liquor policy, what can I say about it? It sucks a dick like this one. That's the best description of your liquor policy and your homeless policy and your other policies. You just have a fucked up city with a lot of fucked up attitudes, and you're trying to make it illegal to sleep when people have no place to sleep anyway. Now we're building housing. Housing in Jeff Katie's district. Gee whiz, one of the richer districts around. I wonder if anybody there, it's one of the NIMBYvilles, not in my backyard. Between District 5 and District 11 of Tracy Beach, you've got some of the biggest NIMBYs on the planet. So 50 whole token units or something over there in the Japs district, whoop-de-doo. Just go around Westwood and look at all the homeless people there. Yes, or go around maybe Fairfax and go to Cantor's late at night and look at all those homeless people. Yeah, and she's doing a great job in her district, just like her father-in-law and all the other clowns that were in there between them. I don't know which one's worse, but there's no winners in all that. Well, now there's something I do want to mention, but of course my time's running out and won't get a chance to mention it, so I'll have to wait for public comment and talk about our good old friend Alatorre. Now, Alatorre was honored And you guys seem to forget something, so I'm going to include a fact in the record. And it comes from Gustavo Arellano, Morning Richard Alatorre, Powerhouse of the East Side, September 11th, LA Times. And he said, quote, "As I drove up Temple Street, I passed the old federal courthouse where prosecutors hounded Alatorre at the end of his political career over allegations of corruption, portraying him as a cautionary tale of political run amok. In 2001, Alatorre pleaded guilty to not paying taxes on what the prosecutors described as bribes. And we honored this person. We honored all his accomplishments. I guess bribes are wonderful accomplishments. And who was there? Tony Viller, the guy who's unfit to be governor, out there campaigning and praising a crook. That sucks a dick like this one. That's all I can say about your policies. That's the best description."
Start his time, please.
Mr. Greenspan, we need you to vacate the podium, and you have been given your first and only warning, so please, so we can move along. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Yeah, vote for CD 14, Kevin De Leon,
So
on the determination of public convenience and necessity. Now, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, the attorney continues to disrupt my public comment.
So this is
because
definitely
I'm
not
speaking
on the
about
agenda, so this is your only
3154
warning. Please stick
East
to the agenda
Olympic
items, or I'm going to move you to
Boulevard,
general.
sir. CD 14 is in Kevin De Leon's district, and that's what I'm speaking about. The consumption of off-site alcohol, the same alcohol that put Jose Boozy Weezar in a federal criminal indictment and now serves in Lone Park. Maybe the alcohol wasn't good enough for Weezar. Maybe it wasn't good enough for any of you. However, alcohol does kill. Then we go into item number 30, Mr. Attorney, and that talks about National Runaway and Homeless Youth Month. Well, every day in Los Angeles, we have homelessness. Every day in Los Angeles, we have a crisis of homelessness. And yet that dumb fucking Krikorian sister talking to Yaroski about homelessness when I'm speaking about it. Isn't that hilarious? That's so hilarious. What do the two fucking Jews have to do with my public comment? Well, the mayor said, let's appropriate more fucking fundings, like a chump change of $438 million into the billions of dollars that you asshole voters are gonna vote for. Say no to homelessness, don't vote for more fucking money, because these fucking criminals keep stealing it on item 30. Run away, run away. Now, into my other topic, Mr. Grope. Resolution by Juju Bloomfield in CD3. Sitting, lying, and sleeping and storing your chinchero is a crime, according to Juju Bob and his black wife. But the public right-of-way belongs to me. California belongs to me. Los Angeles belongs to me. I'm gonna ask for another settlement for a slip and fall because you jackasses don't remove the chinchero like you should. Otherwise, bar license 317-217
Not on the agenda. You're welcome to talk about it during general public comment if you'd like.
against my public comment dealing with Municipal Code Section 4118. These numbers are real. Find out.
General public comment.
Is this the truth? Are we going to vote? Are we gonna go and vote? Is this just something I'm thinking? Is it simple? I don't know Why, the fat city attorney pumpkin is a creep. He keeps attacking me because I'll vote and vote and vote for you, Trump. I'll continue to vote for Trump. And my First Amendment, politely to say, ramen noodle, fuck the police.
Next speaker. Which items would you like to speak to?
My name is Sister Bayasa. I would like to speak on all available items in general public comment, please.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Hypocrisy. In item 30, I was a homeless and runaway youth. At 18, I came out as a lesbian. I liked to eat pussy. My parents didn't like that, so they kicked me out. And I became a homeless, runaway youth at 18. And I learned to ride the metro. I learned to ride public transportation in Florida, where there ain't shit. So I think that item 30 is hypocritical because of the following items. Item 30, excuse me, too loud in here, like little kids. Item 32 and item 33, 4118 designations. How hypocritical of you to have money going towards homeless youth, runaway youth like myself, and yet in the same agenda, item number 32 and 33 regarding homeless sweeps, moving them from the public right-of-way, violating their First Amendment right, violating their 14th Amendment right, hypocrisy. And I quote, in relevance to these items, item 30, item 32, and item 33, in relevance, I quote from the King James Bible, Matthew 25, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter. From within they are full of extortion and excess. We're going to move to 28 now. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy
Item number 28
and
is about charter bus
iniquity.
services in CD10. This does not appear to be related
This
to that
is my
item.
First Amendment right to speak
So
on
please
hypocrisy on
speak
your
to the
amendment.
items, or I'm gonna
Let
move
me
you to
finish
general
the
public
Bible
comment.
verse, sir. Thank you. Woe unto you,
Okay.
scribes
So
and
you've been asked politely to
Pharisees,
stick to the
hypocrites.
items. You have not done so. I'm going to move you to general public comment. You have 1 minute. And again,
I
before
am
we start
speaking
our
on the
time,
hypocrisy
you
of item
need
30,
to connect
item
what you're speaking to
32,
during
and
general
item
to
33.
something within the subject matter jurisdiction
Sir,
of the
you
city.
are mistaken.
Go ahead.
Sir, you are violating my First Amendment right. Sir, you are violating the law of the land. Sir, shame on you. Woe unto thee. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build tombs of prophets and garnish of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of prophets. Wherefore
So,
ye
Speaker,
be
this is not
witness
your
unto
opportunity to read
yourselves
from
that
any
ye
book, whether
children
it's
of
the
them
Bible or something
which
else. You need to
killed
connect
the
it to something that's
prophets.
within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city, or I'm going to move on to the next speaker.
I would like to go to my general public comment.
Already in your general public comment.
You have violated my First Amendment right then. God bless you. God bless America. Repent. Thank you.
Goat puppet, Miss Herman.
Next speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
David Gaishan, speaking on behalf of Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles. Is item 24 available to speak on?
So it's not, but you can speak to it during general. So you have
Let's
1
do
minute for general public
comment,
comment. Go ahead.
This proposal comes with significant issues that have not been adequately addressed. The absence of substantial and widespread outreach to property owners is unnecessarily aggressive and openly hostile towards the new population of non-RSO rental housing providers. By doing so without proper advanced outreach, it furthers the false and toxic narrative that rental housing providers do not deserve to be treated fairly by the city. There is certainly no sudden rush for this new enforcement program, as the underlying ordinances have already been on the books for several months. LAHD has admitted that there has been no major outreach to non-RSO owners to date. In contrast, the city has spent hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars educating renters. The city should conduct substantial outreach towards owners before taking such drastic actions as implementing an enforcement program with substantial additional fees and extreme penalties. We request the implementation be delayed for 6 months for LAHD to conduct substantial and widespread outreach to all non-RSO owners. We also urge the council to revise the penalties so that at least one warning with an additional 60 days to comply be given prior penalties. Thank you.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Yes. So number 1. Yes. Kevin doing a great job, everybody. Kevin, who will be reelected. Let's give him a hand. Very good. Yes. Sorry, Unisys. Your shadow candidate ain't worth a shit. So, yes, we think you should be able to fill up, ding, ding, and get your gas. And at the same time, get a goddamn six-pack and hammer a few down. No reason not to drink and drive. The country's gone to hell anyway. Listen to the preachers that are here. So fuck America. Get out there and drink and drive, in my opinion. Now we get to number 2. Again, oh, look at that. Marchese, that dirty bastard, wants Smart and Final to get and liquor up people on South Vermont Avenue. Isn't that perfect? Make that alcohol more widely available so the old man can come in there and slap the old lady once he gets drunk and hammering it down. Isn't that the way those relationships work? Right, Moni Cow? I thought so, yes. Bitch will never vote against a liquor license. It's a shame, you know. Yes. Now, Kevin wants to give street lighting. Another good motion, because drug dealers need street lights, people. The quality of the drugs lately has been a very, very subpar over there. You're not supposed to say, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, we need street lights for public safety so competitive dealers don't take our stuff. Yes, on number 3. And then number 4, Kevin doing more good work. Topaz and Pirate Street. Yes, we need more. Yes, lady, you may cross. You've been given permission by me to cross. Yes. And now we have the approval of the mayor. Fuck the mayor, but I support Kevin, so I'll support number 4. Number 5, Kevin again. What's going on, Unisys? Are you going to vote for all these items? Yes. Look at the good job he's doing. Then we have CD5, Louise Avenue and Otsego Street. A wonderful neighborhood of CD5. Fuck Katie Yaroslavsky and fuck her dumb father, but I support number 6. Number 7, Kevin again with more lighting. Get that lighting, because you know we have an old saying down there in the district. I can't sell drugs unless I have good street lighting. Give me more street lighting, I make more profit, and then I can free my bitches. Oh, it's wonderful, yes. Yes, that's right. Less bitches, more profit. That's what I say. Now for the general comment.
General public comment.
I could talk about 77th and Fig, assholes. Do you think I should try it? Yes. Why not? What the fuck? You know, I go down to 77th and Fig, and they got these strange people walking up and down the street, and they wear the scantily clad outfits. What are those, Bob? Are those your advisors? Are those Metro advisors? Is that what they are? I mean, I can't imagine some woman dressing like that and offering to put her mouth around a certain phallic object. I don't think that happens in the 21st century, does it? Haven't we got rid of blowjobs? Let's ask Buckethead. Have we gotten rid of that for hire, blowjobs for hire? Of course we should. And that's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Because I want my free housing, and I'm also voting for George Gascon because he wants to partially legalize murder, and I've been in support of that a long time. Finally, Kevin De Leon for re-election! Woo!
Okay, your time has expired.
Okay, that concludes in-person public comment. No one else is here to speak in the chambers, so we'll go to the phones for virtual comment.
Caller with the digits ending in 8015, please unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. Which
Good
items?
morning. Good morning. I'm just doing general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go to the next caller, please.
Caller with the digits ending in 1881, please unmute yourself.
Yes, good morning. By golly, two
Good
and a half
morning.
weeks
Which
of
items would you like to
being
speak
denied
to?
public speaking. Yes, good morning, sir. All items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items, and I assume general as well.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your kindness. Let's go with lighting. You know, it's amazing. On August 16th of this year, item 36, we were going to reinstate restricted parking, but nope, up on Reseda Boulevard where the lights go out and all these individuals are smoking their dope and people coming down, residents who just want to go down the street to get some groceries. What do they have to do? They have to face these lights that are out. They have to face all these individuals smoking and doing whatever they're doing there. And yet, you know, they're lighting fires there. They're lighting fires. We had 47-mile-an-hour winds just the other day, and starting tomorrow, we're going to have higher. So this city council, because you haven't really done anything about the restricted parking, when that area blows up in fire, you are responsible. You are responsible. So let's fix this lighting issue in the city. Item 33. May I move on to item 33?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I support Mr. Blumenfeld. Listen, the people you have to protect are the people who work every day, get up, take care of their kids, go to work, and who are just trying to save their property values and make sure that they can come and go in safety without having to worry about criminals. I'm not talking about families who are on the streets. I'm not talking about vets on the streets. We need to help them. But for those criminals who have caused so much and who gave up on life, why should the rest of us give up on life? So I support you, Mr. Blumenfeld. And Mr. Herman, you're an insult when you attack with Mr. Blumenfeld's wife. Your mother was attacked.
I'm
Cut
going
it
to have
out.
to ask you to stick to the agenda, please.
That was the agenda. That was item 33, sir. Was that correct? Yes, sir. May I move on to public comment?
Yes, go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, sir. Listen, last week was one of the best. I've been here 52 years. Dodgers winning the World Series, correct? And some of those guys looked like me and looked like Miss Hernandez and looked like Mr. Soto Martinez. They looked like us. When you saw the crowds downtown last Friday, there were a lot of people who looked like me, looked like Miss Rodriguez, Miss Padilla. It was wonderful. It was absolutely exciting. Then when I thought about the games, I don't see many of them in the stands. I guess we can't afford it. But what was insulting and hurtful was after the victory, that those who attacked the buses, those who started the fires, those who destroyed this city look like me, look like Miss Rodriguez, look like Miss Padilla, Miss Hernandez. And we as a community, we Hispanics, Native Americans, we must
Speaker, your
bring
time
that.
has expired. Next caller.
Caller with the digits ending in 9519, please unmute yourself.
Caller with the last four digits 95.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a Spokane viewer.
And which items would you like to speak to?
What do you got today for me today, Pumpkinhead?
So the items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 14 and items 26 through 36.
I'll take the whole lot there, brother, and general public comment
So
if
you
you
have
would, please,
3
kind
minutes
sir.
for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please stick to the items. Go ahead.
Like always, brother. Shout out to the Spokane community. Hey, I think we need to do something about the lighting down there for certain there, because the other day I was down on Picker Road, this chick, and I was doing some things there, and it was a little dark around the corner over there by the Circle K. You know what I'm talking about there, Pumpkinhead? And anyway, I kind of I missed her mouth. I hit her right in the eye with a load of baby batter there because it's so dark I can't see.
So which item
I'm
are
a
you
good aim, but I got to
which-
see what I'm shooting at.
Speaker,
Yes, sir.
which street lighting?
I'm talking about the
Hold
lighting.
his time. Please hold his time. Mr. Spindler, do not disrupt public comment. If you have a concern or a complaint, please talk to the sergeants outside. I do not want you to have to be removed from this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. So, Speaker, before we begin, which street lighting district are you speaking to?
The one down on the Picker Road there, brother. Around by the Circle K. You know where the Circle K is? There's a dumpster there, and where the chicks, you give them $5 worth of hand job, and they go around there. It's right over there, down there on Picker Road, sir.
So I'm looking through the agenda. Go ahead and start his time. And I do not see one with Figueroa on here.
No, so y'all don't take care of the Figueroa and the hose down there? And
Go
the
to
light?
general public
or
comment.
the lack of?
So I'm going to need you to speak to a street lighting district that's on the agenda. We're going to move you to general public comment.
Just move him to general public comment. He knows the rules. Go.
Hey, shut the hell up, Bob. We got this, brother. Anyway, shout out to the Spokane community. I guess my general public comment there, Miss Candido, I don't know, people who like Miss Candido aren't allowed around, kids or schools or anything there because they got problems there. But I guess today we got the little vote election coming out today. When you go out and get your election, get your little sticker, I voted sticker, go down on Picker Road with the tick there. They'll break out a little something there. We still got the, held to the chief special there, where, while they pulling on in the cock with your mouth, they, slip their thumb in the back door and, twist around like they're playing in figure pudding. Go down there and get your damn $5 with a hand job there. To end your election day good there. No matter who wins or lose, you get to win either way there. Anyway, shout out to the Spokane community again there, and God bless America and no one else. Y'all have a good one.
Next caller.
Caller with the digits ending in 7255.
Pritchett Serrano, all items in general public comment.
Okay, good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Let's get everyone out and vote today. Make a difference today, everyone, LA. 35. When Kevin De Leon and Emilio Padilla's names come together again, that's just Neri Martinez. Nothing has changed. You guys just keep going on and doing the same thing, the rhetoric of making certain things obvious to the people that you guys really don't care. Let these people know, look, man, we're together. It was a pinch in time, and we're going to go forward. We're going to say everything that looks good for our constituents just to get reelected. But I'm sorry, I might be on the wrong number here. I'm looking for the public, the
So you said
Pacific
item 30
Railroad. Pacific Railroad.
So that
35,
item's
I
going to
think
be
it was?
continued, so it's not open for public comment currently, but you can speak to the other items. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll speak to the other items. The lighting situation, no different. We need to get this fixed. The problem is within. You just got to make sure, what's good is to order copper wire when it's being stolen before we place it in locations. There's only a couple of people that would know that copper wire is being brought in. And if you guys ain't going to stop the problem, you really don't have a good mousetrap. You guys know who's doing what's going on and how much the value is out there. Some people, it's worth getting incarcerated for. You need to make sure that you go ahead and put the blame across the board. You want to fix the problem, look for where it starts, where the hole in the wall is, and then go from there. You'll find a mouse. You just need to catch it. Let's go to general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
It's an
Go ahead.
election year, guys. Everyone come out and vote, man. At least you put your 2 cents in, make a difference, say something that makes a difference. At least you know that you did that. Don't just pretend that, oh, well, my vote don't count. No different than when I ran for office. I didn't expect it. I just keep bringing all this stuff to light. City Attorney, do you understand the rosary is on our city crest? So when the lady 2 weeks ago was reading the rosary or doing the rosary, you were out of line to tell her that it wasn't under the city jurisdiction. That is on our crest. Learn your history before you tell somebody about it. Smoke and Scan, thank you for all the support and everyone that supports me. Thank you. I will be running. We need a change, but I can't do it alone. I need your help. You need to tell me what you need. It's not about me giving
Caller, your time
all
has
that attention
expired.
to the
Next
people
caller.
that
Next caller.
Call-in user 3, please unmute yourself.
Yes, caller, I believe you're unmuted. Which items would you like to speak to?
public.
Which items would you like to speak to? Sorry.
Public comment.
I believe there's an echo, so please turn down the volume on whatever device you're listening to this meeting on.
Coming for you, motherfucker.
All right, next caller.
Call-in user 4, please unmute yourself.
Public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
I appreciate the council putting motions into place, asking the city to review procedures regarding abandoned construction projects and properties. Also, please consider the following. There are already demolished residences all over the city. I drive by them almost every day, vacant lots for years. Please consider with community outreach, perhaps having planning place them ahead in line to give those developers priority in permits, rather than allowing developers to purchase currently occupied residencies and kicking little old ladies out onto the streets. In closing, remember, voting prevents unwanted presidencies. Thank you.
Okay, I believe that concludes phone public comments or virtual comments. We can now move to the agenda. What is before us? What's the first item?
Mr. President, council may now vote on items 3 through 13, 26 through 29, 31, 34, and 35, sir.
Okay, do any members wish to be heard on these items? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes.
Nice.
Okay, next item.
Next is item 14, and that one, Mr. Price requested recusal.
Okay, let's wait for a moment and we'll take Mr. Price off the board. And now that he has left the chambers, let's, any members wish to speak on this item? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, tally the votes.
12 ayes.
Okay, next item.
Next would be item 24, and that was requested, Mr. Price is recused, as well as Councilmember Krikorian.
Okay, we'll wait for Mr. Krikorian to exit the chambers. We'll take him off the board for this item.
And also, Councilmember Rahman called it special for comments, sir.
Okay. Mr. Krikorian has left the chambers and is off the board. So this item is now before us. Councilwoman Rahman, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Colleagues, I rise today to mark another milestone in the life cycle of our Just Cause eviction ordinance, which we passed in early 2023. We passed this extremely important protection about 2 years ago, but at that time there was no fee increase or staffing plan to ensure the ability to administer or enforce the ordinance. The Housing Department has been making do in the meantime, but there has been significant demand from residents across the city to understand their rights and to ensure that the Housing Department can step in when needed. And currently, they do not have the staffing and resources to do that. As part of what we passed last year, we had asked the Housing Department to look at a per-unit fee that would get the program to full cost recovery for enforcement and implementation. And that would help us to really treat all rental units, RSO and non-RSO alike, when it comes to these protections. Taken in tandem, this would also include the protections that we passed for the substantial remodel loophole for non-RSO units. And so this effort today, which increases the fee, ensures that we actually have the means to pay for the staffing needed, will actually allow us, as I said in our last meeting, to look at the protections that we have on the book and ensure that they're actually being enforced in practice. So today's vote on this fee study fully resources the department, and I urge an aye vote. Thank you all.
Seeing no other members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes. And if we could invite Mr.
11
Krikorian.
ayes.
Okay, that measure is passed. If we can invite Mr. Krikorian and Mr. Price back into the chambers. What's the next item? 15, I believe. Okay, if we could take up the next item.
Yes, sir. The next item would be item 15, and that had two amendments. And first amendment is 15A, Blumenfield, Krikorian, Lee. The second amendment is 15B, and that is motion Padilla, Krikorian. And those were deemed as friendly amendments, so council may vote on them on 15 as amended.
Okay, so unless any members wish to vote on these separately, we can take this up together. Any members wish to speak on this? Seeing no members, or I guess I'll just add one thing. One of the reasons I put my amendment is we're looking at a whole lot of different options for badges and things, and we noted that in the state, you actually don't even have badges, so you don't have to waste plastic or anything else because all of the employees have badges. So that's just one of many options to look at, and we want to make sure we're looking at that option as well. Any other colleagues wish to speak? Seeing no other members on the queue, let's open the roll on this item as amended. Close the roll and tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Okay, next item.
Next would be item 32, and that was called as a separate vote, sir.
Okay, let's take up that item. Any members wish to speak on that item? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes.
10 ayes, 3 noes.
Okay, that measure is adopted. Next item.
Next would be item 33, and that was, 2 votes are required for this one. It's a substitute, so the first vote should be whether to substitute or not.
Okay, first is the procedural, whether to substitute. If we could open the roll on that. Close the roll. Tally the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, and now on the substance of the motion as amended. Seeing no members on the queue, if we could open the roll. Open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes.
10 ayes, 3 noes.
Okay, that measure is adopted. Next item.
Next would be item 36, and that was called special by Councilmember Hernandez for comments.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's take that item up. And Mr. Hernandez, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Council President. Colleagues, today I'm asking for your support to fund urgent repairs at the Highland Park Veterans Memorial Square, located at the corner of North Figueroa Street and York Boulevard. A few weeks ago, the Highland Park Memorial Ad Hoc Committee asked for my help in preparation for Veterans Day. I was able to commit funding to the Bureau of Street Services to work on the fountain, sphere lights, and tree trimming. With LA Sand, they supported us in cleaning out the fountain before the work began, and have been great partners with us. This motion seeks $4,000 from the Street Furniture Revenue Fund to cover essential overtime costs, allowing our Bureau of Street Services to complete these repairs. This effort involves my office, the Historic Highland Park Neighborhood Council, and local veterans. Thank you to Councilmember John Lee for seconding this motion and for showing your support for our veterans. Colleagues, please let's ensure that Highland Park Veterans Memorial Square remains a place of honor and respect for those who gave so much. I urge your support on this motion. Thank you.
Seeing no other members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Okay, next item. Okay, there's been a request to continue item 25 until tomorrow. Okay, without objection, that'll be the order for 25. Will be continued. Okay, what item's next?
Do we have 30? M54, is it there?
We have a copy, not the original. Armando says he's bringing it back right now.
Next, Mr. President, is item 30, and again, that is a substitute. So first vote is question whether to substitute for item 30.
Any members wish to be heard on the procedural vote to substitute motion? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Okay, now we can vote on the underlying motion as amended by the substitute motion.
Yes.
Any members wish to be heard? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll, tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Okay, measure is agreed. Next item.
Mr. President, would council like to recess the regular meeting and convene the special, sir?
Have we completed all the items in the regular meeting, 16, 17? I believe 17 was called special for comments.
Oh, so sorry, so sorry.
16
yes,
and 17 was called special.
16 was called special for comments by Councilmember Rodriguez, and 17 was called special for comments from Councilmember Rodriguez and Blumenfield. Apologies.
Okay. Great. Let's take up item 16 then. And
Thank-
Ms. Rodriguez, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, So we know that many of our systems are antiquated in the city of Los Angeles. We have a number of technology systems that have been held together by dental floss and bubble gum for many, many years. And so item 16 is with respect to an investment that is long overdue, over 20 years since this platform was first introduced, which is the complaint tracking system, which is an important system for maintaining for the investigative purposes of complaints that are issued within the Los Angeles Fire Department for personnel. And this is an important system that has shown to be vulnerable to and not impenetrable for investigative purposes. And so in order to restore the integrity of this system for both the complainants and for those that are accused, it's important that we make some really important investments that assure the integrity of the investigative process for personnel matters in every department across the city, but especially so with the Los Angeles Fire Department. And so I'm really glad that after 20 years, we're finally at a place where we are starting to advance this effort, and I think it will go a long way for the purposes of mitigating a lot of the concerns that have been raised by those individuals that are on both sides of issues. And so with that, I'm really thankful for the fire department and advancing this issue that we've been working on for some time. Over the last couple of years, we've allocated resources in the city budget to invest in the upgrades to this system, and now we are finally at a juncture today with the approval of this contract and moving forward that we will finally help to bring greater transparency and integrity to this process, and I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Seeing no other members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Okay, that measure is agreed. Let's move on to item 16.
Mr.
17.
President,
Yes.
that's 17. That was called special by Councilmember Rodriguez and also yourself, sir.
Great. We'll start with Councilwoman Rodriguez.
Thank you very much, colleagues, and I want to thank Mr. Blumenfield for the distribution of the maps. Item 17 is related to an issue that I know many of our neighborhoods are frankly very frustrated by, and that is issues around street sweeping. The challenge that we face, particularly in the San Fernando Valley, but in many parts of the city, there is an equitable distribution of our street sweeping routes. And for many residents in the San Fernando Valley, we've particularly experienced the lack of consistent street sweeping services in many of our neighborhoods. And if you review the maps that Mr. Blumenfield has distributed, I think it tells the very clear story of where the concentrations of street sweeping efforts have been. And street sweeping is not just about aesthetically improving a neighborhood. It is about making sure that we have the ability for clean areas for bike paths and a lot of the areas that frankly often pose greater liability risk to our city because these areas go unmaintained. And so we also know that one of the challenges that we face, and if many people walk in different neighborhoods throughout Los Angeles, we have a litany of signs around parking issues that are antiquated, that also contribute to the confusion for many people to determine whether or not they can actually park in an area and not necessarily determine whether or not street sweeping will actually be conducted that day. And so there's a whole host of issues that have been born out of just decades of posting unfulfilled street sweeping schedules, scaling back of some of our staffing, but more importantly, the lack of equitable distribution around the city is one of the greatest problems that we continue to face, and this is an opportunity for us to dig in deeper, to reflect on where the distribution of these services are, and make sure that every Angelino has access to services that their taxpayer dollars are providing. This is about making sure that we are righting what has been a historic wrong and failure, and to look at how we are distributing these resources, where we are missing some critical gaps, and how we can correct that going forward. And so I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Seeing no other members, I'll speak briefly, which is I wanted to first thank Ms. Rodriguez for bringing this motion forward. I think it's really important. It's something that we were on the cusp of doing right before COVID. We were talking about moving to, instead of every week, to every other week so that we could cover more of the city. But there are a lot of things that we can do with technology and other ways to make our street sweeping more effective. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. I distributed, as Ms. Rodriguez mentioned, the maps, and you can see that the basin is basically completely covered with street sweeping, and you look at the valley and it's really sparse. And you look down in the 15th district as well, and it's really sparse. The colors on the map, just for your interest, are just what day of the week. But if you see the colors on it, that means that it's being swept. So picture's worth 1,000 words. There's a lot we can do, and I'm grateful to Ms. Rodriguez for bringing this forward, and this will basically initiate that process to be looking more carefully at it. So with that, seeing no other members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes.
13 ayes.
Great, that measure is agreed. Next item.
Mr. President, would council like to recess the regular meeting and go into the special meeting, sir?
Yes, let's do that. So this meeting is now stands in reset. Go ahead.
Shall I call the roll to convene the special, sir?
Yes.
Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McCosker, Padilla, Park, Price, Brahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 12 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, what's before us?
Item 37 is an item for which public hearing has not been held. Shall I read the instructions for public comment for item 37, sir?
Yes, please do.
As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute. Again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice to ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
So for members of the public who would like to speak during this special meeting, please keep in mind, because this is a special meeting, there is no general public comment. So you will have up to 1 minute for the only item on the agenda. That's item number 37.
Adam Walker, Rich Ramirez, Mike Hawk, Sister Piazza, Stacy Segarra Bollinger, Freddie Escobar, Mike Greenspan.
Welcome.
So you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning, Council President Harris Dawson and honorable council members. My name is Adam Walker, and I'm a 16-year veteran of the LAFD, where I currently serve as an apparatus operator. I'm proud to be elected Secretary of the United Firefighters of Los Angeles City, and I served as the chairman of the UFLAC negotiations team for the MOU that you have in front of you today. I'm here first and foremost to say thank you. This MOU is fair, and it's a contract for our firefighters, and it's also fair for the city of Los Angeles. In addition to fair wages and benefits, one of the things that I'm most proud of with this MOU is the emphasis on the health and safety of our members. You may know that suicide is now the #1 cause of death in the fire service. In fact, right here in the LAFD, we have lost several of our
Sorry, Speaker, your
firefighters
time's
over the
expired.
past few years.
Speaker, we have to give everyone the same amount of time, so we have to move on to the next speaker.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to speak on all items
You
and
have 1
non-agenda
minute.
public comment, please. Now that we have a higher property tax regarding memorandum of understanding, make others understand, MOU, the firefighters and fire captains representation, this is my new measure 5. It's called the amount we would decide on decisions by local government borrowing paid by higher property taxes. Now, is that a fucking deal or not? That's the biggest fucking deal in the world. Giving the fire department who needs the water, who needs the roof, let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn. We don't need no fire. Let the motherfucker burn. So you're gonna pay these motherfuckers what they want, you hear, Mr. Attorney? And I'm gonna take the motion now. We have an I vote, fuck you, Bob. Pay the firefighters, pay the paramedics, and pay us niggas.
Wonderful.
Next
Thank you.
speaker.
Next speaker.
This little
Speaker, you have 1
light
minute
of
for item 37.
Item 37, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you. So for item 37, looks like there's some money involved with the fire department, talking about chiefs and such. I'm just a Jesus freak, so forgive me, I don't know that much about it. But what I do know is religious freedom was an issue with the fire department during the pandemic. And I do believe when we're talking about health and safety of the fire department, vaccine mandates violating religious freedom, that's relevant. You know, I'm having a really hard time finding a career in things like firefighting, police, and healthcare, social services, due to the vaccine mandates which violate my First Amendment religious freedom right, just like Mr. Pumpkinhead
This
did
is not on the
earlier in
agenda. This is
last
about
meeting.
the MOU.
God bless you, God bless America, and let's get rid of those mandates. Thank you.
Next speaker. Good morning. You have 1 minute.
太多的幸福报道，拼凑爱的美妙，笑一笑，投入你怀里，然后撒娇，不需要别人来教，把爱并紧抓牢这一秒，决定拥抱你背的美好。爱情是你独特的味道，在我的心中围绕，别人都不了，只有你知道，因为你世界不再单调，我的微笑你明白就很好，你就像月亮绕着轨道，拥抱着地球闪耀，在我的星球写下惊叹号，有了你世界神魂颠倒，你的微笑别人别知道就很好，你就像月亮绕着轨道，拥抱着地球闪耀，在我的星球写下惊叹号。
Next speaker. Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm here to speak on agenda items 37 and general public comment. Good morning, Council President, honorable council members, and all those in attendance. My name is Richard Ramirez. I'm a director for UFLAC Local 112 and also a firefighter paramedic for the past 19 years. I'm here to speak on support of our MOU and support of our hard-working men and women of the LAFD that protect the citizens 24/7, 365 days a year. Recently assigned to Fire Station 11 in MacArthur Park, the busiest station in the nation, busiest truck. Our resources tirelessly continue to protect the citizens of Los Angeles. Our members are committed to saving lives and protecting the residents of our city is unwavering. And even though our workload continues to grow, the people of Los Angeles know they can depend on us to be there in the
Speaker, your
greatest
time
time of
has
need.
expired. Good morning. You have 1 minute for the item.
All right. Good morning, Council President Harris Dawson, Assistant President Blumenfield, and honorable members. Freddie Escobar, President of the United Firefighters of Los Angeles City, representing 3,400 brothers and sisters of the LAFD. I'm here today with a simple message to Mayor Bass and to this council. We want to thank you for your ongoing support of our Los Angeles City Fire Department and our firefighters. The MOU in front of you today is strongly supported by our rank and file members because it's fair and honors them for their work and commitment to this city. I want to point out that the city of Los Angeles, we have about 3,400 sworn firefighters, including chiefs in the LAFD. In the city of San Francisco, they have about 1,700 total sworn firefighters, about half of them, as many as we have here. But here's the one thing, the city of Los Angeles, we have a population of 4 million residents, while the city of Los Angeles has a population of 1 million. We respond to over 500,000 firefighters. This MOU reflects the work that our brothers and sisters do in an understaffed fire department. Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
Thank you.
A.
Okay, is that there's no more in-person public comment, is that correct?
The other names
Or-
are fake.
No, there.
So you have 1 minute for the item. Go ahead.
Yeah, so again, Bob Blobenbleld, the chairman of the Budget Committee, we need to borrow $80 million at 25% interest. If you vote no on this item, Bob, then we get $77 million back to the Treasury, and we won't have to borrow the money. Now, Unisys, you know I'm making perfect sense. But you see, you all got bought and paid for, didn't you? You're a bunch of fucking money whores, money changer cocksuckers that won't vote no on this increase. You're going to force Tracy Park to prostitute the city to Wall Street to get $80 million. Can you imagine what she's going to have to do to get that money? Holy fucking shit! I can't imagine it. What Tracy Park will do for money.
Stick to the
Don't
item.
make Tracy Park turn into that kind of lady. Show her respect.
All right, your time's
Bob.
expired. Next speaker. Mr. Spindler, your time's
away, Mr.
expired.
Goat.
Next speaker. Good morning. You have 1 minute for the item. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Chung Ho. I'm the first vice president at United Firefighters of Los Angeles City, Local 112, proudly serving and representing the men and women of our great fire department. I want to first thank the individual members of the EERC for advancing this MOU so that we may all consider it today. We believe this is a fair contract for our city's firefighters. Firefighters who are considered the best in the world. Firefighters who respond to nearly 2,000 emergency calls each and every day. As firefighters, we are proud to serve the city of Los Angeles, and we do it with courage, pride, and integrity. I thank you all again for your consideration here today of MOU number 23, and I urge each and every one of you to vote yes for your firefighters. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker. Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Mike Greenspan? Yes, let's talk about this item. The firefighters are great. I mean, after all, my mailbox has been getting stuffed with stuff from about Najarian, paid for by the firefighters. Yeah, let's give them more money so they can stuff my mailbox, kill another 1,000,000 trees so I can have your carbon footprint union. Stuff my mailbox with your propaganda for your low-life candidates like Najarian, i.e. Krikorian Jr. They are even using those same insignia they used on Krikorian. Yes, let's give them more money. We're having budget problems. Don't you remember that? But of course, people like Blumenfield thinks it grows on trees, following the footsteps of fat pig Paul Koretz. You know, folks, the whole thing sucks a dick like this one. That's about the best I can say, and I don't care if Smoking Scan shows it or not. Fuck you. This is what I think of your policy.
Time's up. Please take your rubber phallus and exit to the right. Next.
I'm being told that
no
there
one
are no
else is
other
here?
speakers.
Okay, then let's go to the phones.
Call in user 5, unmute yourself.
Go ahead, you have 1 minute.
Call in user 6, unmute yourself.
Next caller.
Yes, my name is Jason, and I'm a smoker scan viewer.
You have 1 minute for the item. This is related to the MOU for the unit number 23, the LAFT.
Thank you there, Pumpkinhead. Anyway, shout out to the smoke scan community. I think we need to support the firefighters because the other day I was on Figueroa with this chick, and she kind of burnt me up a little bit there. And I think we had the firefighters to help come down there and put out the fire to be a good thing. It's kind of hard when you're down there, you know, kind of get fired up with a hand job. You're getting burnt up by bitches. Now I got my cock and balls all stalled because I don't have the firefighters.
Stick to the item.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's talk about the firefighters and how we need them down there because, you know, I'm burning up my jewels out here, fucking around with these bitches down there on Figueroa because, you know, that's important for the firefighters. So I think we stood there and, get out and vote if you haven't went out and vote yet. And, like I said, God bless Americans. No one
Okay,
else.
this is not relevant to the item. Go to the next caller, please.
Come on.
Caller with the digits ending in 9519, unmute yourself.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoke scan
So
community.
caller, hold on, don't hang
I
up
didn't
on
get
him yet.
to
This
finish
is
my
your
own
only
sir.
warning. Do not disrupt this special meeting.
Yes, sir.
Next caller.
Yes, sir. Why, good.
Caller with the digits ending in 2616, unmute yourself.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn. I'd be happy to address the special meeting item. Which
Good morning.
is
You have 1 minute for the item. Go ahead.
The big firefighter deal. This is the black box in the room, guys. This is the labor negotiations that pop up and put us on the hook for a lot of money. Now, of course, the firefighters deserve a decent deal. This is spectacular. I mean, this is a very well-structured family medical leave. To be eligible, you just have to have worked there for 12 months and about 1,250 hours of service. And then you can get pregnant, and they'll give you up to 8 months off with bonding time. I mean, this is a great deal. If everybody had this deal, I think we would all be a lot better. Now, the fact that we have a terrible budget crisis and we're looming at, and we didn't have a chance to really weigh on this is what I'm on about. So maybe we should open up the committee meetings to public scrutiny so that we can review these things timely and everybody can agree. Now, Frank Lima got a little exemption so that he can be serving on the board, get his 80 hours, he gets full pay while serving on the International Fire Division, which is, if you haven't seen my article, it's called the Boondoggle Disclosure Act. And I
Caller, your
strongly
time has
recommend
expired.
that the city
Next caller.
government.
Caller with the digits ending in 1881, unmute yourself.
Yes, item 37.
Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. Mr. Previn, thank you for that information. I still have to be in favor of the MOU as a 72-year-old man with a lot of health issues, and I can still whip the shit out of Jason with one hand. If it wasn't for the police department, the fire department, I may not be here. But again, there are some questions in regards to this MOU, but I will support the fire department because, again, they serve this city with all heart and soul. Thank you. Thank you.
Next caller.
Caller with the digits ending in 7255. Unmute yourself.
Richard Serrano on number 37.
Go ahead, you have 1 minute.
I just can't. LAPD and the fire department, again, both of them being paid out of the general funding. They should not. They are elite for the city of LA. The city to be sustained the way it is, them putting their lives out there on the line, they should not be in this kind of, situation where we're discussing the numbers. Just make sure that they, they're putting themselves in harm's way for us. Change the format that the LAPD and the fire department do not come out of the general funds. So we don't have to discuss this out here. It's already pre-notioned that we need them as much as most people want to do defund the police like Ms. Rodriguez. It's the other way around. We need them. We just need to make sure we get rid of the cancerous ones like Officer Bodessa.
Caller, your time's expired. Next caller.
30 seconds.
Was that the last caller? Okay. Public comment has now been exhausted, both in person and virtually. Let's move to the one item, item 37, and we will start. So that item is now before us. We'll start with Councilwoman Rodriguez, followed by Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, I rise in support of item 37 on this new contract, and I want to talk about some of what the men and women of the Los Angeles Fire Department have been exposed to. It was not that long ago that I had to go visit Nick, who is a rookie at his working a sod day in my district, who came upon a homeless encampment and was unfortunately injured in an explosion that ensued shortly after his arrival to the incident. This is a circumstance and a dynamic that more and more of our firefighters are being exposed to each and every day. And it goes without saying that this is not only a fair but a responsible one given the amount of call load that our department, the men and women of the department, continue to be exposed to. I'm actually very proud of one of the newest inclusions of this new MOU that came as a result of a motion that I introduced with members of the fire department having had highlighted during Public Safety Committee the challenges that are being faced as a result, the challenges in the recruitment and retaining of women in the Los Angeles Fire Department. Excuse me. Thank you. In response, I asked the CAO to explore the feasibility of providing paid parental leave for the LA Fire Department sworn personnel. I'm pleased to see that in this new MOU, we now include 12 weeks of paid parental leave, affirming our commitment to providing a supportive and modern work environment and culture that values both personal and professional well-being for members of the Los Angeles Fire Department. This policy is particularly significant in attracting younger generations who prioritize employers that foster a work-life balance and ultimately strengthening the LAFD's family-friendly appeal and helping to build a more diverse and dedicated workforce. Colleagues, with these votes, let's affirm our commitment to a Los Angeles Fire Department that stands as a model of transparency, accountability, and family-friendly support, empowering our firefighters, supporting their families, and building a stronger, more resilient force that truly reflects the values of our city. And I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. For clarity in the record, I'm going to move that we adopt the MOU 23 as posted by the CIO's office yesterday, November 4th, 2024. It had some slight revisions. I'll ask for a second to that motion and urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Great. I'll second that. Okay, seeing no other members on the queue, we can take this measure up with the amendments that Mr. McCosker put forward, the technical changes. And let's put that before us, and let's open the roll. Close the roll, and tally the votes.
12 ayes.
Thank you. That is.
Mr. President,
Yes.
there's a request to have this matter be adopted urgent forthwith, and that requires another vote, sir. So would council like to have the urgent forthwith vote now, sir?
Yes. So if we could, so the measure is passed unanimously. We will now move to vote on urgent forthwith. We could open the roll for that. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
12 ayes.
Okay, that will be sent urgent forthwith.
Mr. President, would council like to adjourn the special and reconvene the regular, sir?
Yes, without objection, the special meeting is adjourned, and we are returning to the regular meeting. We can call the roll for the regular meeting.
Shall I call the vote, sir, to reconvene? That would be Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McCosker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 12 members present in a quorum, Mr. President.
Great. What is before us now?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Okay, without objection, they are posted and referred.
That clears the desk, sir.
Desk is clear. We'll move to announcements. Colleagues, any announcements? Seeing no announcements, any colleagues have adjourning motions? Looking to my left for adjourning motions? Yes, we do. If I could ask everyone in the chambers to rise for an adjourning motion. And Ms. Rodriguez, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, today I rise to adjourn in the memory of an extraordinary woman, Mary Helen Ponce, who peacefully left us on September 9th, 2024, at the age of 86. Mary Helen, who wrote under the name Mary Helen to avoid any confusion during a time when there were very few Latina writers, was born on January 24th, 1938, in Pacoima, California. From an early age, she demonstrated a passion for community, culture, and education that would shape her life's work. Growing up on Hoyt Street, she became deeply rooted in the fabric of Pacoima, attending and worshiping at Guardian Angel Catholic Church. She was a proud representation of the community, even being honored as part of the mural that we have featured at Pacoima City Hall. Mary was not only a beloved mother and community member, but an internationally celebrated Chicana writer, scholar, and educator. Her memoir, Hoyt Street, captured the essence of growing up in a Mexican-American barrio and became a cornerstone of Chicana literature, offering vivid depictions of cultural identity, family, and resilience. Her writing, which extended to contributions to the Los Angeles Times, highlighted the beauty, struggles, and the spirit of Mexican-American life. Her work as an author, Mary was an educator. Beyond her work as an author, Mary was an educator who dedicated herself to elevating Chicano culture and history. She served as an instructor of Chicano studies at Cal State University Northridge and continued her academic career as an adjunct faculty member at the University of New Mexico and in the Women's Studies program. She furthered her commitment to education as a member of Comisión Femenil San Fernando Valley, an organization that champions women's issues within the Chicano community. Her scholarly work and her advocacy left an indelible mark on the institutions she served and the students that she mentored. As we remember her today, we also offer our deepest condolences to her children, Joseph, Anna, Mark, and Ralph. Mary's legacy of compassion, education, and cultural advocacy will continue to inspire for generations to come. May she rest in peace.
Thank you. Colleagues, any additional adjourning motions? Seeing none, it is Election Day, folks. Exercise your right and get out there and vote. This meeting is adjourned.